Hello, this is Right Side Trader. Today is June 13th, 2025, and this is my weekly trade review, where I'm reviewing an SPX and Condor trade. That's 10 watt, 20 delta, 0 day to expiration. So this is definitely not a trade recommendation. We all know trading is risky. You can lose money at trading, so please check with your financial advisor. Please check with your significant other and make sure trading is something that is suitable for you. This is the virtual trade. This is me training my brain to be able to see this trade, to be able to execute this trade, to be able to manage. Managing this trade is just, okay, taking what is a small loss and being able to take that small loss and then work around with the different things and all in order to be able to make that small loss back. That's what I'm doing. And there's also other money level things, just me seeing it. Seeing it is believing it. That's another thing for me that I have to. That's one of the things I need to go through, because I was having an issue at certain levels years ago and still hadn't really got back into trading, with any real size other than I just say with really any size, like I'm trading in this account with this particular trade strategy, for a while. But I've done it. I know it can be done. I see it again, and I'm ready to do it. So that's why I need to just train myself, get myself back into the whole swing of things, actually doing it like that, and then see if it actually works. Because again, once you put live money on the line, things do change. I realize that. And right now, at this size, like I had mentioned before in my other little video, I probably won't be trading, the size that I'm trading right now. But I definitely can see half of that, and that's the whole thing. And I'm good with that. I know I'm good with that. But let's get to the trade, and let's see what we're going to see here on this Iron Condor trade. I was able to place the trade. The platform is working again. Thank you, TD Ameritrade and all. Again, because this is again, it's about training myself. It's something that I have to go through. It's just me. But let's jump over to see what happened. Right now, the day is Friday. Like I said, June 13th. This is the day's trade. The day's trade, as you can see, is below where I needed to close it to make 25% on it. So again, I am okay. And again, it seems like they might have corrected some things and all. I'm getting feels that are more like the live feels and all. And so I'm kind of good with that. But the only thing that I'm still kind of even the exit was okay. I used to play games with the exit, and since it hadn't been working, I kind of just set my exits the way I normally would set it in my in the live account. And these things been executing just the same way pretty much. It's some crazy stuff that happens, and you end up getting out of these trades a little bit early. But I see some of my live other trades doing the same thing, and that's why. That's one of the reasons why I like trading around the time that I trade. Because again, if I'm within the spread that actually crazy stuff when it happens and I'm in between that, I get filled. And that's all what it's all about for me. It's being able to get in that trade and get out of that trade. I'm not trying to hit a home run. I'm just trying to get to first base. And at 25%, I think that's more reasonable than what they was talking about before at 50%, trying to make 50% on these type of trades and all. It's doable. It's definitely, I'm seeing it's doable. It's just when these things go against you, what you're going to do. Because anytime you do a spread trade, if anybody been doing any spread trading, it seems like every time as soon as you get into those trades, they look bad. They're in the negative. But based on this trading, the whole trading strategy, you need time to pass more than 5 minutes. Based on some of these exits that I get, it's 5 minutes. Again, I know that may or may not be real. That's not going to be realistic. I'd still expect to be in these trades at least a half hour to an hour, and that's going to be more realistic. Just like what you're seeing down here at the bottom. When I'm seeing down here at the bottom, this is the trade that I put on, and at 11 o'clock, it's at this value here, and this is the value that I want to get out of this trade at. So that's the whole thing. I know. This trade will work out for me based on the way I'm thinking I'll be doing it. So I'm definitely okay with it. But that's enough of that. Let's take a quick look at the trades and all. Here's the numbers. I'll scan through this right quick, and I'll just kind of let you see it, and I'll come back to this, let you see that I was able to trade every day and all. This is the 9th, looking at the dates over here. And all, this is the 9th, and if you go all the way to the day, if you look through those dates, I was able to actually trade every day. One day I did have a trade actually go against me and all, and I had to do something there. I will cover that all. I will take a quick look at that also. That was back here on this day right here, this little thing here that I had to do. You can see a single and a single. I actually purchased a call and all to actually make up for some of the loss that I was having at the time. But we'll take a quick look at that too. All right, but let's jump over to the charts. That's where I like going. I want to show the numbers right quick and all, so I don't forget that and I can get back to it. And I want to show also where the market is at right now, because I know that's one of the big things that a lot of people are mentioning. You know, that the opening in the trade is good. It's the whole closing of the trade. What was the issue? And that looks better now. Definitely in the virtual account, it's more like what I see in the live account. The only issue I see on my directional trade is great. It's just like I get these feels just like what's happening here in the virtual account. You know, I'm in my trades for less than usually 10 minutes, a little less, definitely less than 15 minutes if I get them in early enough. And like I said, one of the reasons I like doing this trade, it stopped me from trying to get in the market too soon, because you do need to let the market settle out a little bit when you're based on the other trading strategy that I have. I do not want to be in that market that first 5 minutes. Just like they say, they don't want you really shouldn't be in this trade in the first 5 minutes at market open. But I'm seeing it's working for me and all. But that's enough of that. Let's get over to the trade and see what's going on. Let's switch over to the charts and stuff. Let me share that screen, select share chart screen, and say continue. And you should be seeing the chart. Let me go to the VIX chart. This is the VIX. The VIX, that's the other thing on this trade right now, with the VIX being low. It's not too low, really. It's still above 16. It's staying above 16. I don't like it when it's below 15. You know, the credit might start getting too small if it gets down that low. And then, again, I haven't been there. When I started out, I was thinking, you know, that this trade may not work because you just don't collect enough credit, and it's too big of a loss, too much risk on this trade. And that's another thing. I do want to play around with the numbers. I'll do a little video on the spreadsheet where I'm showing the different numbers with the different position size with the max loss and the profit that you'll be making at 25%. I do want to do something on that. I want to take a closer look at that again. I did it earlier before I started, and I was okay with it. But I need to take a look at, now that I have some data and on what the trades that I've been placing. I want to see what my average, you know, credit that I get, and taking 25% of that. And I know I've had a few losses, but I'm okay with those losses and stuff. That's part of the game. But I've learned how to manage those also. But back to the VIX. The VIX, as we can see, something happened crazy last night after the market closed. We got a crazy pop and pulling back down. Don't know exactly what that was. Again, that's another reason why the overnight game with this particular trade would not be okay with me. I wouldn't, and that gets back to where I do believe I will have to be in an account where I can actually day trade. But that's enough of that. Let's go ahead and go to day one, Monday. Monday, I was able to put that iron Condor on at 60.25, 60.35 on the call side, 59.60, 59.50 on the put side, around a 0.2 delta, and 20 delta. I received a $3.25 credit and was able to close it for $2.25. You know, that was that first day that it was actually working. I just did my whole dollar thing, and I think that's what it actually was. Yes, that's what it actually was in the virtual account. And I was kind of, oh, this thing is working again. Oh, and it gave me the crazy dollar and all. Because, again, that's what I had always was trying to set it like that, and see if I was going to get filled or not. And this day it actually works. A quick thing on the charts, what you're seeing on the charts, are you're seeing pivots, SVE pivots is what I like using. And the other little dash lines right here, that little dash blue line, this dash white line, this dash brown line, this dash green lines. And there's also some dash red lines to go along with those. Those are my custom pivots that I have. And the dash purple lines right here are the points where I actually sold that. You know, this is where I sold my call leg at, and this is where I sold the put leg at, and it's 10 wide. So that's pretty much that, what you're looking at on the chart. And this, yeah, that's pretty much it. Tuesday, I was able to put that iron Condor on at 60.40, 60.50 on the call side, 59.85, 59.75 on the put side, around a .2 delta. Received a $3 credit, was able to close it for $2.25. Was in that trade at 9.35, out of that trade by 9.51. See, that's about ideal what I've been seeing even doing it live. It was like that, and all. Wednesday, I was able to put that iron Condor on at 60.70, 60.80 on the call side, 60.05, 59.95 on the put side, around that .2 delta. Received a $2.85 credit. Was able to close that trade for $2.10. Was in that trade at 9.33. Out of that trade at 9.55. And all. Thursday. Thursday was the red day, as you can see. But I did do something in order to make what I call making myself whole. Thursday was one of those days I did put a special video out on that day after the trade again, because that's one of the things I do. I like recording my stuff and then recording what I did so I can go back and look at it to realize, okay, was it a good play or was it a bad play? And this day it ended up seeming like it was a good play. One of the things that I realized, because I remember when I first started doing these trades, sometimes the loss is not as bad as you think it's going to be. On this particular trade, I received probably, I think it was, this would have ended up, even with a closing like this, with the credit that I had received on this leg right here, and where it ended up closing at $3 in the money, I think I had received about $5 on this, and it would have been, so you can take the difference between that, and that's how much you're going to actually that's how much you really should be losing on this trade. And also, again, based on that one leg, you only ended up losing $2 on this trade. So it gets back to that whole thing. On this particular day, that's just the way it happened to play out, where you want to try to keep this trade loss to $1, or for me, $1 or less. But I saw I was running into trouble on this trade back here when I saw the market was doing this, and I started trying to get out of it. See the other video? It's a couple little. Pay attention to it. It was a couple little things that I said not quite right, because it was like right in, after I got done with it, and right after I was doing some live trading stuff too, so I was kind of bouncing all over the place. But on Thursday, I was able to put that iron Condor on at 60.40, 60.50 on the call side, 59.70, 59.60 on the put side, around a .2 delta. I was in that trade. I got a $2.80 credit. Ended up having to close that trade for $3.85. So that's $1.05 loss. I was in that trade at 9.34. I was out of that trade around 10.18. This is not the correct time, I know. Let me edit this. It was around 10.18, I believe, or 10.19. I put 19 and all. I've gotten to before, this is why I practice this stuff. Before, I would say, okay, I got room for this thing to go up. But this thing I end up being like $2, $3, around $3 against you. So that's why, again, I like trying to keep it at that dollar or less than, definitely less than $2. I don't want it to get that crazy against me. So that's why I like just go ahead and close it early, because once I start, and I could be wrong, but this particular day I seem like I caught it right. So that's the reason why I like doing that. And still at this time, if I do still expect it to be trending, I can jump into me a long call and actually get that long call to make this dollar back easy that I lost here. So that's what I did that day. I'll review the numbers again, and we'll take a closer look at the numbers and all. But it was right here. I saw it happening. I think right here somewhere in this area, I ended up buying a call, and I was out of the call, and I had to close this trade, for the dollar loss, $1.05 loss, and all. But let's go ahead and go down today, Friday. Friday, I was able to place that iron Condor on at 60.45, 60.55 on the call side, 59.65, 59.55 on the put side, around 20 delta. Received a $3 credit and was able to close this trade for $2.25. Was in this trade at 9.33, out of this trade at 10.40. I believe that is the right time too. Let me just double check that. Looking over here, it says 10:38. So 10:38 really is the correct time. I will correct this. 10:38. Again, it gets where you see certain things happening around the same time all the time. Because I said this gave me a heads up on some of my directional trades and stuff. Because I see these you get these wide spreads on some of the options and all. And on my directional trades, if my exit is somewhere in between, which has been happening here at times, where I'm in between, that widespread, I end up getting filled, which is a good thing. So again, that's another reason of doing these trades. Again, it keeps me more aware of watching everything that's happening out here in the market, and it is actually helping me become a better trader all around. Just because now I'm looking at it more than what I was before, and I'm looking at different products now, not just my Qs. I'm looking at the SPY, and then I look at some other stocks, that are moving and stuff too, that are in these different products. That's one of the things that I do. But that's pretty much it there. Again, let's take a quick look at the numbers again. I'll take a closer look at that and then go ahead and wrap this on up. All right, switch back over to the number screen. And yes, the market is still going, and it is live right now. Let's scroll down here. Make sure, just take a quick look at the numbers. I know some people like looking at the numbers and all. They're not that important to me in this virtual account. 600,000. I'm trying to get to 1 million. Stock buying power 1.2 M and all. That's cost twice that. One of the things, commissions. Commissions are crazy, over $100,000 in commissions and stuff. So that's what it is there. So everything is. And I thought one other thing they used to is over here. One of the other things they show is this right here. I don't know this profit loss thing. This profit almost to where I want to get at, but I'm gonna be looking at that liquid value. I want that liquid value to actually. I want this value here to get to the 1M, that's what I'm gonna be waiting on before I'm making some moves now. But before I start, trading this with the size that I want to trade it at. I definitely want to make sure I'm very comfortable doing that, and I will start off with just one or two contracts to make sure I've got all the mechanics right, whatever platform I'm trading on at the time, and make sure all the money is settled and all that I need to do. But that's pretty much that. Let's go ahead and take a quick look at these numbers on the days that I was actually trading to show the actual stuff that was happening there, and wrap this on up. Monday. Scroll down here a little bit. Monday, we're looking at here, like I said, 936 in that trade, $3.25. Out of that trade at 948, $2.25. On Tuesday, 932, and all $3 credit. Out of that trade, almost 10 o'clock, and all. Again, if you watch the market, you'll see. Again, data may tell you one thing, but once you're in the live market, you see things, how things actually work, how things actually going, and all. So this is why I still like the time where I'm entering my trade at. That was Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I was in that trade at 934. Got a $2.85 credit. Was out of that trade at again 955. Got a $2 closer for $2.10 and all. Next day, this is the Thursday. Thursday was the day that I had trouble. And all Thursday here, I was in that trade at 932 and all. Ended up closing this trade at 918. Like I said, I thought I was around 918, 919 and all for $3.85. So that was the difference between that is $1.05. So I ended up losing $1.05 on that trade. But as soon as I saw this thing was going bad on me it was around that 10:15 time. You can see I jumped into it. I brought a long call at that time, paid $10.90 for that call, and then I ended up exiting that call. Just 4 minutes later. It seems like forever, when you're doing this stuff. But still, it's less than 5 minutes, as you can see, for $12.50. And also, I made $1.60 on that trade. $1.60. Yeah, $1.60 on that trade. So that made up for that dollar that I had lost on that trade. Okay, then this morning, 9:33 was in the trade, received a $3 credit, was out of the trade at 9:38 for $2.25. See, these little real close things like this is what it's not going to happen that fast, but you will based on looking at the number down here at the bottom. I know I should be able to hold this thing until around 11 or so, and if the market is cooperating, I will be out of these trades, on time. So again, this is not bothering me too much. These early times that I'm getting out at and stuff, and the times that I'm getting in and the times that I'm getting out, I'm okay with that. I expect to be in these trades for at least 30 minutes, at least 30 minutes, and all. And I know it can go. I've had them before where they went longer, so I know that could happen too. And that's why, again, I have to have a way of what's my minimum gain that I want to take on these trades, which is 20 cents, even when I'm trading live. And what's my maximum loss that I want to take on these trades is really right around $1. I definitely don't want it to get over $2. So I really want to try to keep it around that dollar, because making $1 in the market, doing my directional trades, it can be I can do that, if I'm really focused and paying attention. And the market is trending, like it starts trending on you. You can make $1 real quick. But that's it. That's pretty much all I really want to share. Hope I'm back. I hope this is going to be helpful. It's definitely being helpful for me. I should be able to reach my target that I want to reach on this trade, and that's getting this value right here to 1,000,000, 1M, and all. So we're going to have to just kind of like wait and see as if I can get there. It seems like it's going to take a few more months in order to get there. I know it's not a overnight game for me. It takes time, and it takes time just to reprogram my brain to get to that point where I know I can do this. This will be done. And that's all I really want to share at this time. This is Right Side Trader. Hope you guys had a great week. Hope you guys have a great weekend. And I'll talk to you next week. Have a good one. Bye.